What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Black Council podcast. It's been a minute since we got to record an episode of the Black Council podcast. It's me and this boy, Whoop Nora. We in this bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to get a hold of Townsy, but he's always welcome because, I know. The Black Council podcast want to be in this bitch without that. Shit, we made that bitch together. Swear to God. And like I was telling this nigga Nora earlier, when I came up with the name of the Black Council podcast, I didn't never think we was gonna get a show actually talking like that's gonna go into the Black Council and the Green Council and shit like that. You know what I mean? Personally, it was just double entendre. We was black. Shit. You got the Black Council. I'm like, shit, there ain't nothing better. You know what I mean? Shit. The Black Council, we the Black Council, we them niggas. See, you feel me? But man, it's cool. So we got the House of the Dragon. We finally get to talk about this bitch. Me and Nara was about to talk about this about the last week, but we didn't get the opportunity to. So we're going to talk a little bit about episode 1 and 2.
So I'm not going to even start episode 1. It wasn't hidden for me like it was for everybody else because I didn't read the book, so I was just like, But episode 2, I can't wait to talk about episode 2. I'm not going to even stunt with you, gang.
Right. So we going to fly through. We could actually fly through episode 1 because I know that was like a lot of people's thought about episode 1 is that it was like, it's the beginning. It didn't have too much. I know the scene that everybody did talk about was the birth scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so as of what episode 1 did for us, it just got us set to the main players of this time. Viserys, Rhaenyra, Corlys, Otto Hightower, Alyssa. We got to see that relationship to what it's gonna blow to be. Now, since you didn't get to read the books, I'm not going to talk about what's going to happen because this should be like it's gonna be a lot of fun for people who didn't read the book to see what's finna escalate from here on out. Because there's a lot of things I would love to fucking talk about if you was a book reader or if you know what I mean. Because you're going to know, what's going to happen next. It's going to be crazy. No spoilers. We ain't going to throw no spoilers. I won't talk about anything about the books. We only going to talk strictly about episode 1 and 2. And we won't go through that. Appreciate you sliding through the stream, though. My God. It's been a while. I slid up on your stream not too long ago when you were streaming. But I don't know if you seen that I slid through. I be lurking like a motherfucker. I be saying shit. No.
Bro.
Oh man, I ain't gonna say shit. If you don't see me pop up with the thing, I ain't saying nothing. But no, when it comes to that shit, no spoilers. So yeah, we won't go into any of that bullshit. Like I won't ruin it for nobody.
Don't ruin it for me, bro.
No.
Don't get too excited to the point you be like, oh yeah, so this happened. I'm gonna be like, bro,
shit, nope.
Why?
You see, we ain't saying no shit like that. Like I ain't nah, we ain't gonna. But no,
my favorite part
ahead,
about episode 1 though, I'm not gonna lie. What was his name? Corlys
Velaryon. Velaryon.
Watching the black man with the dreads come through, bro. Hold on, we here, we made it. You know what I'm saying? We made it. You know what I'm saying? And then he got bands. You know what I'm saying? Get your money up, not your funny up, my man. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Making moves out here. Well, trying to make moves out here. Multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
We can get into that.
Oh, man. Seeing his portrayal of Corlys was pretty dope. I know, you see people, like, if you was paying attention when they first cast him, a lot of people was like, whoa, he's from the pale skin. They always got to say something. But his portrayal of Corlys Velaryon was spot on. It was fucking great. Like I said, we ain't going to talk about episode 2 just yet, but at the end of episode 2, he tells you a little bit about his background. You know what I mean? Like what he had to do for his family and some of the deeds he did around the world. Now, that's, and again, we ain't going to touch on that till they mention more about certain things that he did. but
Yeah.
he's a pretty fucking good ship captain. That is what he is, and that's why he's the master of ships. And like I said, you see his little thing. He didn't have to say much, but his actions spoke louder than words. You knew what he was thinking, and just like I don't know if you remember the tourney scene, and I actually want to talk a little bit about the tourney scene because I don't think people caught a little Easter egg that they had in the tourney scene for like something that goes on a little bit later on in Targaryen history. But the fucking the interaction between him and his wife, they didn't say no words. It was just looks and glances, and you knew exactly what they was talking about. Like, hey, you see that? You still got supporters out here. Yeah, I see. We can make something of this shit. And this little shit like that, like the way he portrayed him, just it was great. Like you want to see more of him, and you only got like less than 5 minutes of him that whole episode if you really think about it.
Oh yeah, you only really get to see him at the council meeting, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So overall, what did you think about episode 1?
Episode 1, shit. Let's be real. It was mid. It was good. It was great. Like to be honest, let's compare it to episode 1 of Game of Thrones. You got more content that you need. You know what I mean? You got exactly what you need to know of what you're finna get through this world, like what you're finna get out of this world, like what these characters' intent are already off the back. Where when you watch the Game of Thrones episode 1, you was still a little bit confused. They had to have a hook. You know what I mean? Something that hooked you to keep you going. And we all know the hook was Bran getting pushed out that window. So like you had a hook, but for the most part, I do remember people saying, "Oh well, you know, it was kind of boring, etc." I don't know what was going on, but then that little dude got pushed out the window, and I went, and I didn't know what was up. Compared to this, so they learned from D&D mistake, and that's a good thing to see. So I personally enjoyed it. And once again, I might be a little biased about that because of, you know what I mean, I get to see something that I read on the screen, man. You know what I mean? It just
You're able to see what you imagine translate into pictures.
And like they say about the books are fictional books written in their world. So they supposed to be real books written in that world. So they got biases in it. You know what I mean? And so I guess this is their way of showing the real accounts of what really happened. So certain things you read in the books might not be the case. It's pretty much what they were saying.
Ah, okay. So basically, you and this bitch reading fictionception. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
You reading the book inside of another book.
That's pretty much it.
That
That's
may
what
be
you're doing.
Cap. That's fucking hilarious.
That's what that is. That's what Fire and Blood is, and that's what pretty much the World of Ice and Fire is a book in that book in the world of Game of Thrones.
Nigga, what?
Yep. So it's written by people in that world, like by certain maesters and shit.
These niggas ain't never just say, "Yeah, gang, we gonna take you back in time to a time where it may be Cap,
pretty much.
It may not be Cap.
It may
but
be.
These are
the accounts. Like Peep Game, you know the two main accounts of Fire and Blood is by this dwarf and this maester. It's pretty much the two. Like, so you get in every aspect from them. So they accounts of what happened. So they could be capping. You just don't know.
So you just taking their word for what it is. So this is pretty much just like,
and
this is what actually happened, and then you may see the differences between the books.
Exactly. And this is
wow. This man is finessing y'all. This nigga, exactly. George R.R. Martin is finessing y'all.
He said,
bro.
Here you go.
Y'all want lore? Look, we're gonna do lore how history does lore in real life.
In real life, you don't know exactly. The victors make what happen. The victors decide what it is. Like, yo. Or depending on who's writing it, they might have a few biases for another group. So they like, these dusty motherfuckers was doing this. They was grimy. They was poisoning motherfuckers. In reality, they probably wasn't doing none of that bullshit.
So basically, what I'm hearing in that book, they said they was pale, but in reality, they was niggas. They was black. You know what I'm
You
saying?
never know.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
That could be
Hey, you know
listen.
what
That could
we
be an
here.
easy way for George to be like, "Yo, hey, you never know. They said they was this. They look like this, but but in reality, Game of Thrones, the the Valyrians supposed to have the Valyrians supposed to have been in the actual Game of Thrones series, but that's one of the families they didn't do.
Really?
Yeah, like they left a lot of families out, characters out, and all of that shit.
He said, "This man Kurt said I'm watching Vikings right now. If that count, no, nigga, that don't count, gang. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, G.
he said Vikings.
He's,
You know what I mean?
I,
This takes place 15 years after. Nah. Like,
so one thing I do love is, of course, we're gonna have to talk about the dragons. I don't know none of them niggas' names. I'm not gonna even sit here and cat with you, nigga. None of them, and nigga, all I know is Dracarys, nigga. And I know that's that shit on fire. That's all I know, nigga. How they actually speak more of their, because we got a little bit of it between Daenerys and her brother, the tongue of the Targaryens or the Valyrian tongue, with whatever language that is. I like how we get
High
like,
Valyrian.
okay, so I like how we get that, like when they don't want commoners to know what the fuck they're talking about, they immediately switch over to High Valyrian, and it's just like with any other race in the world that exists today. The moment they can speak, they could possibly speak English for a second language, but then the moment something gets hard to translate, or they don't know how to say it, or the conversation is private, they switch back to the native tongue.
Right.
And I kind of like how they do that automatically in here without actually having, like, without it being noticeable. You
Right.
feel me?
And that's kind of like with the you see that the people that was taming the dragons and shit, they only speak High Valyrian because that's what the dragons understand and shit. They can't be talking to the dragons in English like, "Hey, calm your
Burn that
ass
nigga,
down.
little nigga.
Calm your ass down." They gonna get fucked up. But
Dragon Tales counts. They got dragons in it.
shit, as long as you say Dracarys and they burn, shit, I guess it counts.
Not Oregon, not burning shit. That nigga a bitch. You know, cap. That nigga, you know, shit. They was gonna get that dragon. They was gonna be disappointed. That nigga looked at that nigga Oregon like, bro, you was a hoe. No cap. So what about this? So you don't have to really give me too much detail. But I think it was. No, we're still on the first episode. I know you said you want to talk about the jousting thing, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead. What you want to talk about? That because that scene was so boring to me. Besides
Yeah,
the
like the birth scene.
no, not the birth scene,
I was gonna
the
say, 'cause
jousting scene.
that was a lot. I was gonna say that shit was a lot.
But that birth scene had like a lot of symbology in it with the king actually having to make a choice between sacrificing both his wife and his child or
Right.
just sacrificing his wife. You feel me? Because now he's at the point. Can I speak about this? Is this kind of like spoilers to episode 2?
I mean, shit. We
Okay,
talk about
cool,
episode 1 and 2, so it don't matter.
cool. So it's kind of symbolic to him having to actually choose another wife in episode 2, like, well, being forced by the realms or the council to choose another wife in episode 2, and also going with his daughter being the heir to his throne, because so now he has to either go with what's the people is going to pretty much understand versus and tradition versus a new type of age, which is his daughter Renea. I could have probably said it. I probably said her. I know I said her name wrong. No cap.
I'm pretty sure it's
But
Rhaenyra
Renera,
Targaryen.
yeah. So now he has a choice between birthing a new heir and letting the same old tradition come to pass, or still hold on, or still
He said must hydrate.
yeah, of course, niggas mouth dry too, or let his daughter pretty much rule as a new generation, or go to his daughter's best friend, for that shorty ass,
See,
and they produce an heir.
what's fucked up? He realized that I don't know if people caught it. He realized he was a hypocrite. because technically his cousin was supposed to be the rightful heir. So him making his daughter the rightful heir, he knew there was gonna be like a lot of fucking backlash. Hell, that's probably even give fucking his cousin like even more right. Like, damn, hold up, I couldn't be queen, but she can. You feel me?
Yeah.
And she was the rightful heir, like first in line, daughter to the Jaehaerys. You feel me? So I mean, I understand that was like one of those, like, there was no right decision. It's like, damn, either I have you as my heir, I give Damon, you know what I mean, give him the keys, and nobody like this motherfucker apparently. And that was mostly Otto. You see, like, he got people that like him. A lot of people do like him, but
See, I don't trust Otto.
he shouldn't.
Because Otto kind of reminds me of Littlefinger.
And
Already by just like whispering in people's ears, just, you feel me?
he got some good in him, but like you said, he's like one of those people that he is trying to make a name for himself, and he's trying to make sure his family is like on, like, you know what I mean, the highest seat possible. So if he could get them in there, which is why you could see in episode 1 he was pushing his daughter towards that immediately, pushing his daughter towards, you know what I mean, hey, let's see if we could get you in here to make it, like, have a relationship with the king real quick. You know what I mean? We never know. You know, just plant that seed and see what grows, for real, for real. And you kind of see what happened and how that manifests later on in episode 2.
Yeah, because with so
No,
it kind of shows.
She didn't. Oh, sorry, I was reading chat.
You good. So it kind of shows me like between him and what is the Corliss?
Corliss.
How different tactics imposed on a man of higher power can really outweigh his decision. So like when he goes to Otto, he kind of wants a unbiased opinion, while Corliss took a more aggressive approach to the situation, and Otto took a more indirect approach to the situation.
See, like Corliss in the first episode, you see he was actually like chilling back for a while before he spoke up. He do watch the room. He read the room and see like how everybody's doing it. But then, you know, hey, here's my chance to throw out my little opinion real quick. And you got Otto, who you could see Damon was telling you. He said, like, I see Otto for who he is. He's like, who, honorable, loyal? He's like, nah, the cunt. Like he's a cunt. Yeah. Like that's exactly what he is. You feel me? Yeah. And he see that, Corliss and them see that, but you see how the king thinks of, how highly the king think of Otto. Like he thinks very highly of him. He really do trust every word he says. So when he say that, other than the fact when he keeps trying to push his brother away, but you see he took his word for everything. Every time Otto made him change him to a different position, he did that. He was like, you did that. So then when he's like, oh, you had an army of gold cloaks behind him, he's like, well, you put him in that position because you said he couldn't do this position, or you said he was doing this position wrong, you know what I mean? So the king always do what Otto says, you know what I mean? Other than push his brother away. So Otto keep whispering things in the king's ear. Like he said, Corliss like, yo, this is going to affect my money. They said, oh well.
Yeah,
like
it had
damn,
nothing to do with the crown.
Like, yo, this had nothing to do with us. You feel me? We'll pay you for it. Like, Corliss like, yo, it's going to have something to do with you if you keep letting it like just sit back and happen, let it fester. He's like, yeah, nah, nigga. Hey, just do your job and stay in your place.
Yeah, no cap. That's all. Just like this man really like I'm not saying the king is he's a kind king, but he's also a very foolish king, and it also shows just the first episode and the second episode together shows when people know your vulnerabilities, when you're at a seat of power, it comes with a lot of risk, even if they're not at physical warfare. You're always at a mental battle with another person when you're at a seat of power like that. And so with the king, he wants everyone to be happy, but he needs to understand not everyone can be happy. You feel me? Like that was his main thing.
He wants peace, like overall. Like since the last king whole reign was peace. It was all peaceful. He's like, oh shit. I gotta keep my shit. I gotta keep this shit peaceful too. So he's like, oh, as long as I could avoid conflict, it should work its way out. When everybody else telling him like, nah, if you keep avoiding it, it's just
You're not gonna be prepared for it.
it's gonna fuck us over in the long run. So then they mentioned it a little bit in episode 2, like, hey, you see, it's actually these people backing these people to weaken your shit. So you actually see that there is a plan to it. And Corliss was right the whole time. But because you had Otto Hightower in his ear, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's starting to become more of a problem than it should be. When if they would have dealt with it. You see, it was a year time skip, apparently. And it took me on the second view to see that.
It wasn't it was a 6-month time skip, I thought.
No, it was a year.
I thought it was 6 months.
In episode 2, apparently it was like a whole year.
I thought it was 6 months. Cause they were like, it's been half a year since my mother died.
In the second episode, during the second council, they was like, yo, it's been like a year and a half.
Okay, a year. Okay, so when it started, it was 6 months, and then they fast forwarded again.
Like in episode 2, it's been like a whole year. Cause when we get to it in episode 2, whenever we start talking about it officially, because we almost done with episode 1. The thing I was talking about with the council, though, not with the council, but with the jousting tournament, the announcer who was actually announcing everything and announcing the rioters and everybody, his fit he had on was a black dragon on a red field, and that's actually the house symbol for House Blackfire, which is a bastard house of the Targaryens, which we don't know if they actually gonna do this later on, but like it's like 100 years from House of Dragon. But that's when they get to the battle of the Black. Like I think they talk about it a little bit in Game of Thrones, the Blackfires and shit, Blackfire Rebellion. It was just a coat of arms.
So what exactly happened in that
event? King Aegon IV legitimized all his bastards, and the main bastard, the one that everybody thought should have been king, decided, shit, hey, fuck it. Everybody want me to be king, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. So then there's the Blackfire Rebellion, and just like what we're gonna end up seeing during this season, you're gonna see the Targaryens split like the country again, and you're gonna have
Tony.
No. Hey, no. We're gonna see. It's just certain shit you see in the.
No, Tony. Spoiler.
No spoiler. No spoiler.
No, you said, as we will see
later on in the series. In series is what I said. In the series.
Spoiler.
I said 100 years. 100 years.
Spoiler.
But all right, we stepping around it, but yeah, I get it. Hold up, pussyfooting around it, but.
So you tried to finesse me. I can't go like that.
No. We ain't gonna do it. We holding it. You know. You see, we pussyfooted around it. I'm holding my words.
hey, I'm just making sure. You know. What I'm
saying? Right, yeah, I got you, bro. No spoilers.
But
nah, it's something like that. And you ask the questions, I'm trying to answer your question as vaguely as I can.
But does this all happen in the House of Dragon book?
No, I mean like they don't do that in House like no Fire and Blood. No, I don't think they have it in Fire and Blood just yet. I think Fire and Blood goes up to a certain king. Like it's after this, but before you get to that stuff.
So we're gonna get after King Viserys' reign.
Yeah, like Fire and Blood talks about a few. Like you got shit before him, you got shit after him. But
so now, go ahead.
No, you're just gonna get to a certain point because it's supposed to be 2 Fire and Blood books. He only did the first one, and he only got to a certain king. It's supposed to be like 300 years of history altogether.
Wait. What's up with this nigga in unfinished product?
He got a lot of shit in their head, I guess.
George R. Martin cannot be the plug, dude. We need a new plug, dude.
It's a lot. But like they said, most of this, like this story is done though. Like you got most of the history for this, which we ain't gonna talk about. You got to figure that out with the show. But yeah, most of that shit's done though. So
So
they cool there.
now I want to also have kind of like talk about the throne itself, because the throne, I'm not gonna lie, that the Iron Throne,
Mm.
they spazzed on that little upgrade they did to it. It looks a lot more barbaric, something that you would see more.
Man, that motherfucker look raw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard in the books it's well, I read in the books that it's like it's supposed to sit up super duper high, and all the swords are just like
I
just
can
going
show you.
up there.
I can show you, but I don't know if the camera would like show it. All right, you know how I be doing that little zoom, so I'm not
Yeah,
gonna try it.
yeah,
But
I'm look it up. But yeah, I heard it look like that. That shit kind of looks.
it's higher. It's supposed to be a little bit higher than that, but it's like yeah, it's supposed to be crazy. It's
And
supposed
then I see how but they didn't really specify which enemy swords it was, but like based off the end of episode 2 and how it's affecting him right now, is that the disease we see in Game of Thrones?
what disease?
The I don't know the fucking name of it. You know I'm terrible with names.
Oh, are you talking about with Jorah Mormont that he had?
Yeah, the little skin flakes.
Nah. I'm pretty sure it's something different.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was something like that, man.
Uh,
Because Tully did say he found it with the Maester as an ancient technique to remove them. So I thought, kind the timeline would probably like match up with that a little bit.
see, yeah, nah. He ain't. That ain't grayscale. You're thinking it's grayscale, and
You
cause
don't got that?
nah, that ain't grayscale. Cause you remember grayscale? I think that scale was getting hardened and shit, and all flaky and like dragging like some shit. It seemed
Yeah.
like his shit is falling off and not healing.
That man need he need the X factor. You know what I'm saying?
Like
That man got the-
that shit. Like apparently, like so you see like how he got cut in episode 1. Apparently, like from that cut in episode 2, his whole finger's about to damn near fall off.
Why don't he just cut the finger off?
Would it help? I mean, shit, he got a hole on his back that's not healing up. His fingers not healing up. What the fuck? Like,
That's from and it kind of, I like how small little nuances like that, and then now we got the Iron Throne in the actual Game of Thrones, and how it doesn't look as barbaric and it's more, I'm not gonna say comfortable, but it's less dangerous than what it is now. Because he barely touched the damn thing and it pricked his fucking finger.
that's just because of like a little like a myth when it comes to that shit. They say like if you're not worthy for the Iron Throne, it's gonna poke at you and cut you. It's like telling you that you're not worthy of it. So I think they're kind of low key trying to hint at that a little bit. So who knows?
Hold on. That's a thing, bro. That's kind of fire though, Jay. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, shit.
Yes, it is.
That motherfucker kind of fire. So because he's not worthy of the throne, he's getting damaged by that bitch.
Yeah, like that's pretty much what like it's a myth about the throne that they say. Like the ones that's not worthy for that motherfucker get like cut and battered by it and shit.
Damn. Fire. Then they're trying to use fucking maggots. Oh yeah, just put your finger in the maggots, bro. It's gonna eat all the dead flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that flesh dead, gang.
That nigga was just comfortable with it, like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, you know, my doctor told me to do it, so it's all right. Like, nigga.
No, so you're not. Like, okay. Like, bro. Like, obviously,
nah.
it's not getting better. It's getting worse before it gets better, bro. What are you doing, bro? So,
Man,
let's talk about episode 2 if you want to talk about episode 2, because
sure can. Like I said, it wasn't much in episode 1 that we need to talk about anyway. It was like just an introduction. Something cool.
now first I kind of want to talk about the Queen Who Never Was and Rhaenyra conversation, because she was just actually super pissed that all of those people bent the knee to Rhaenyra, and because she just thinks that the realm is sexist and may be sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how everything it's set up back then. But it showed her that the people respected Rhaenyra more for a position of queen, even if it was just a farce. And then they would go behind that and try to whisper in the king's ear, like, "Nah, gang, this ain't it, gang, this ain't." But it showed that they had way more respect for her than the queen who never was.
See, I wouldn't even say that because you see Viserys, he says like, yo, I had to make this ball. You know what I mean? I had to gather all the people around the kingdoms, all the great houses, and have them come to recognize you. I'm making a spectacle of it, so they can know like you are my heir.
Yeah,
And that's why you got every other like all these other people like you got to marry, man. Like go ahead, you have to marry. Try to get a son as fast as you can. It's pretty much what they've been trying to tell them. It's because like as much as they could say like yeah we accept her as queen, none of them actually do. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And that's what she was saying. Like yo, like if we gonna start accepting women as queen, then I should have been queen. That's when we're like, but they ain't gonna never accept that.
yeah.
Like I was the rightful queen, and they still passed me over for my cousin. like,
What was it for my cousin?
like a far off cousin, and I was the rightful heir. But because she was a woman, it's like, yeah, nah, man, he's cool. Let's get him. You know what I mean? Let's go over here, bro.
Yeah.
But
So now, do you think, because Rhaenyra pretty much said it's not that she doesn't want to be queen, because she just wants her father to see her as something more than a child. So whether it's knighthood or being the queen, which one would you think she'd rather take?
damn, like I think she already told us. She said she'd rather be free. She'd rather be like in the fields, chilling. You know what I mean, or banging, doing something, fighting, whatever she want to do. Cause I think she's just one of those people that's like, yo, it's up to me, so I gotta be responsible because I am the heir. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
nobody else that would do this. I'd rather be free, but it falls on me, and I will do it. So I get that. I'm sorry. I like her character because of that.
See, I like her decision, like towards the end of the episode. We'll get to that towards the end of everything. What did you think about Corley's decision, bro? This man, bro, a
Mm.
12-year-old, bro,
To engage his girl,
as a
his
bro,
daughter.
yeah,
Now
but
I know, like that's just what they was fucking doing back, whatever, in this fucking timeline, whatever, and they was still doing it in Game of Thrones with Sansa and shit like that. Like, oh hey, you're gonna marry this person at 13. You don't have to have kids with them till they was 14 or something. But whatever the case may be, they was just cool with it. He's like, yo, I'm gonna use my daughter as a pawn to, you know what I mean, they would have direct descendants that's going to take the Iron Throne if they would have did that. So he was perfectly fine with it. But his wife on the other hand was like, nah, that's my daughter. Of course I'm not cool with this shit. Like, why?
mhm.
Why would I? Why would I want this? Nah. So I'm not cool with using, you know what I mean, your daughter as a pawn. But I understood that that's what they, you know what I mean, that's what they had to do. And like they was saying, like, yo, we the last two ancient houses, and our blood always been this way. This is the best way to unite the realm. So in context, everybody what they was saying made sense.
Yeah,
But in hindsight, yeah, you would rather, yeah, like as bad as it might seem, yeah, Alyssa or Allison Hightower was probably the best option for him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it just like I mean, that just makes sense to me. But I
But
get
like,
get what they were saying.
i-
Go ahead.
in regards to what he was saying, Corlius, I get it too. However, you also need to know your king.
Mm-hmm.
Like your king only has daughters. So just like how he looks at his little girls, he looks at your little girl because you're close to him.
Right.
In that regard, he respects your counsel. He respects your opinion. So like the fact that you tried to use, even if it was the right move, she was still too young
Mm-hmm.
for this man for him to actually be like if she was like 16, 17, 18, he probably would have went for it.
Right.
But the fact that she was 12,
Mm-hmm.
like even like he was bending more towards it because it was something for the people,
Right.
not something for himself.
And he didn't want to lose
Wow.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So when he found the option where he could have something for himself and the people, that's the option he chose. So that's why I said I don't really trust Otto in the beginning of the podcast, is because Otto knows his king.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows how to manipulate him. He knows the dynamic of power. So he wouldn't do anything to upset that. While Corlius, he took a more direct approach. He thought just because they was not necessarily friends, but in this day and age, they respected each other's history of what they did to get to where they was to a certain degree, and he in or position.
I say
It wasn't the right way to go about it.
I'm gonna add to what you're saying, like, cause you're absolutely right. And like, when it comes to Corliss, it pretty much was like, okay, he know I got the money. He's the richest. He was the richest in Westeros. Like
Big
this,
big band,
he
big
he got
C. You
he
know
got
what
the
I'm
most
saying?
money. He's like, our blood is both ancient houses from Valeria. We are the last of the ancient houses. You know what I mean? They said, yo, if we do this, the whole realm is gonna be like, yeah, this is the strongest I should ever been. There's no way. They rule the air and the seas. You know what I mean? So this is how Corliss is thinking of it. But like you said, it's more to that. Like the king ain't just a king; he's a person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And Hightower was like, "Yo, you trying to go the direct approach? I'm finna be more subtle about it." And that's why, like, he was throwing those little seeds out there. Hey, did you go see the king tonight? Go see him. Wear this. In the first episode, he's like, "Yo, go wear your mom's dress real quick, and go see the king and shit." He's fucked up, but he's doing. I understand. Like, he's like, okay, we gotta. This is the perfect time to do this, and he's playing it just right. He knows when the king's weak, and he's like, hey, go check on him real quick. Go, he needs some time, cause like you said, he knows his king.
Yeah.
He's been around too much, and just like how Corliss was using his daughter as a pawn, I know Hightower is doing the exact same.
Just in a different way.
Exactly, more subtle way, and to be honest, as schemy as it is, the correct way. He should have been doing it like in a more logical way.
So now this may be speculation, but because they didn't, like, let's say, because they didn't unite the two ancient houses together to make the blood stronger and also unite the land, could that be why the dragons began to die out in the Game of Thrones history?
Now you know I can't talk about your speculations or anything like that
Uh,
personally, because
because it's a real. Oh, so they show it in the book. So pretty much why
like
what
I
happened.
said, everything like is already written. Like, all right, what we gonna get is I guess the real story, but like for the most part, everything is already laid out.
So since we're talking about the land scene, then what about what is that dragon? They say it was like a super huge dragon that that flies around the coast or of Valeria or
Vagar,
ancient
I
Valeria.
think it's
Yeah.
Vagar. I probably got the name wrong, but that's supposed to be the second largest dragon. That was Aegon's like one of his wives,
Yeah.
sister wives, fucking dragon. And they said that motherfucker got too big and nobody tamed it, so it's just roaming free, chilling. Fuck it.
Nick. So does he come back in House of Dragons?
Cause there's like if I remember correctly, there's like 10, 15 dragons that's still alive right
But
now.
did
Or
they have
supposed to
like
be around.
thousands back in the day?
Yeah, they had thousands like back in the ancient times, like back in Valyria. There was like thousands of fucking dragons, but yeah, it's down to like 15, like right now.
Bro,
Like,
the architecture of Valeria, we got to see it. Through the Stone Mace, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Valyria Code.
Nah, you see, that's he made that. Viserys did all that, and that's pretty. That just shows you how good of a crafter he is. He's a critical thinker. Is he the best king? No. Is he a smart one? Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's very like fucking creative. Like that.
yeah.
That was like he made a whole ancient city of Valyria from what he's seen in sketches and shit like that. Like he's a fucking stonemason. And I know I pretty much see that that was his way of dealing with like his grief that he's been dealing with and shit was just going around and making that in his off time.
Yeah.
But man, that's I just had to point that out. Like he's fucking creative in that sense.
Do we get to see Valyria in Game of Thrones?
No, we've never like got to see. Well, we seen the like when Tyrion and Jorah was rolling through it. When Jorah contracted grayscale, they was rolling through like those waters of Valyria.
But they didn't go actual to. Cause, so do you think one of them would take the Valyrian throne? Because she just pretty much said like, "Uncle, you moved to my crib, like bro, like you're on my throne right now, bro."
Yeah, that's the one that Daenerys was at in what's that? At the end of Game of Thrones, where they land at when she came back home, Dragonstone. That's what it is. So you know, yeah, like whoever holds Dragonstone, they the rightful heir. So whenever you got a rightful heir, they become the prince of Dragonstone or the princess of Dragonstone.
But so who would be the king of Dragonstone?
Nobody. It's just the heir. That's always the heir's like rightful place.
That's fire, bro. Because that city is just the architecture there, bro, is just amazing, bro. Like even when it was like I don't know. It was like some shit off Dark Souls. It was, it was
Nah, I
like some
feel
shit off Dark Souls. The goddamn dragon land on the bridge. You just see the people shitting bricks. I'm like, yep. I shouldn't have came over
what's
here
that?
tough.
Oh shit! And you see that was that same little spot where John and all of them was meeting, like when the dragon flew over them.
Yeah,
Tyrion then was walking down and shit. I was
yeah,
like, okay, I like the little subtle reference, but yeah, that's cool. I'm fuck
yeah.
with
That
it.
shit was fire. So Otto, Otto is a fucking moron
I say that.
because one, he knows the brother only listens. Damon only listens to the king, not because he's a king, but because he's his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew what it would mean if any one of them died. So this man purposely went there and provoked Damon. Attempted a shitty attempt to get the egg back. Provoked him even more. And damn near had the two brothers at war with each other.
I think what it is Viserys knows his damn brother. He knows. He's like, yo, and you know, he was completely right. He was like, yeah, he just wants some attention. So he said let's ignore him. Like he said, yo, just chill, ignore him. Just he wants some attention real quick. Nah,
Yeah,
let's go poke the fucking dragon. Apparently, and
yeah, like
like let's go fuck with him because you know. And you see, they don't fuck with each other. They just don't like each other. We seen that in episode 1. We seen episode 2. He's like, yo, and going back to the tournament in episode 1, you got Damon. He said, yo, let me go ahead and pick your eldest son. After I fuck him up, I'm gonna have your daughter give me her favor. So I could shit on you later on when I win the tournament. Yeah, the man's diabolical. He don't fuck with Otto.
I don't fuck with Otto, but I also don't fuck with him.
He don't fuck with Otto, and they both kind of like you can see like they give you a reason to like people and don't like the same person. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who says Otto's completely wrong? Cause I don't think he's completely wrong.
No,
But
no. As a man, trying to put yourself in the highest position of power is what you're supposed to do.
right now, that little thing you got against Damon, even if Damon was right, you're like, oh, you gotta go against him because you don't like him. That's your own little thing.
Exactly. So now the princess making the move.
Showing where Danny got that shit from.
Man, bro.
Like, cause the way she pulled up, I ain't gonna lie, the little dragon stare down.
Bro,
He
that
said,
shit was fire, bro.
he goes back, she pull up, and I do want to talk about. She said, "Hey, you say you say you the king, you the rightful heir. Well, shit, technically, I'm the rightful heir. I'm right here. You took my home. You want to kill me? Go ahead. You got your chance." It's like,
But she knows that her uncle loves her, and they're in both in similar positions.
mm-hmm.
So like he couldn't get mad at that, and she called his bluff,
Right. Which is,
and he knows he can't go against the king because like he knows that Rhaenyra is the king's only daughter,
mm-hmm.
Rhaenyra's only daughter. So the moment he kills her, all that brother shit goes out the window.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah, the brother shit goes out the window. And you may get one dragon. I think they got like 4 or 5 dragons. And your one dragon would have probably got fucked up by Rhaenyra's dragon.
Yeah, I think each one of them got a dragon except I think the kingdom got one. So right now we seen what the 2 dragons
Yeah.
right now,
So
and then a few eggs.
why don't the eggs hatch? What? Okay, is some lore that's not? Do we get that in the House of Dragons? Serious on like the magic egg shit for the dragons?
You see, they've been talking about it and shit a little bit. You see, what they do is they place the eggs in Targaryen cradles and shit like that, and then so whenever they egg hatch, it like bond easily with that Targaryen and shit. So as far as like how they supposed to hatch, I guess they just keep them warm. And you see, that's why they had that little container. As soon as they got the egg back, it was like steaming hot, like burn. They do it in
Yeah.
some coals or some shit. So I think they're just supposed to be warm. And then,
And then they hatch.
yep.
See, that'd be trash.
Because you
It's,
see,
it's
they placed that whole shit. Like Valyria was in a volcano and shit. They was like in volcanoes and shit.
yeah.
So it's like they gotta be close to fire or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Hey, that'd be, you know what I'm saying? My background fire right now, so that'd be fire gang, you know what I'm saying? But I feel you. So what part did I want to talk about next? What about so like towards like is there anything like particularly in the episode you want to speak on?
Shit. I like the beginning and end. They kind of teasing the what was it? It's a certain war that's gonna be happening later, and I ain't. But they kind of laying it out right now. And at the end of the episode, which I wanted to talk about, so that's kind of what I wanted to ask you is what you thought about the end of the episode between the conversation between Damon and Corlys Valerian, because it's set up for a little bit later.
Is we got to kind of see Corley's personality, what his motives, saying that he's always aimed to be the highest he could possibly be. Like everyone else who rose to Lord in his family household was unclear of their position. They didn't know exactly what they wanted to do, but he had a goal. And he pretty much grinded from the mud to get his
Yes,
house.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? To the position where he wanted to be. So he's a very goal-oriented man. So he's a very selfish man. So he has no loyalty to the crown. He really only has
See,
loyalty to his home,
I get the
which
complete
makes him
opposite.
dangerous. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna say he's not loyal to the crown. See, what it is he's ambitious. He is ambitious, but that's just like always been his nature. And like I said, there's certain things I don't know if they're gonna talk about, like a lot of his past and like what he did before he became like we see him now.
Mm.
But it's a reason why he's like the richest man in restaurants because I like his attitude, like how he is and how he comes. So it's not like he's not loyal to the crown because like they actually like they family, you know what I mean? Like by blood. Now, especially since he's married then to the Targaryen. So it's not like he don't care about him, but he is for his house. He want to see his house like get bigger. And that's like you said a little bit earlier. That's damn near everybody in Westeros right now. We see the
Yeah.
Hightowers doing it. We see the Leons doing it. We see Targaryens. They at the top. Starks, Baratheons, all this shit. But that's damn near all of them. But it's I can understand that he's getting frustrated, and it's not just that because we see at episode 1 they pretty much threw his notion aside to the point where we get to understand like they like listen, we just need your money and your ships. We don't care if a few of your ships get attacked. We can reimburse you for it. We just not trying to do shit about it. They damn near disrespecting him. You
Yeah.
feel me? And
They
they
dismissed him.
exactly. So to want a little bit more power and not be dismissed by these motherfuckers, knowing you the richest motherfucker in the room, and like it's the conversation between the king and Harwin Strong, if I remember if that was his first name, but it's the Strong. Strong told him flat out. He said, "Yo, what do you think I should do?" He's like, "Shit, they the most powerful. That's the most powerful family in Westeros. I'd rather have them as an ally than an enemy." Just completely real with him.
And then he told him like he's right about the Targaryen blood.
He
Like
said that's like marrying into that family would have been the right move, but that was out of duty, not out of what he wanted. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
I'm not saying like I definitely agree. Out of all his moves, I agree with the king 100% on not marrying that girl. You feel me? Like I'm 100% with you. Thank you. I like yeah. Like if I was them, like why would y'all even consider that? Like there's gotta be like a Stark woman out here or a role where like somebody across the seas. Y'all could think of something like that could have been. Let him do it. Like don't just keep telling him oh do it out of duty and money. It's pretty much what everybody was telling him the whole episode. It's the right move, money and power, blah blah. But
See, I agree with you. That's pretty good. You spin, nigga. You spin right now. So like the only thing I can think of like uh well, this is kind of like transitioning topics. Like Shellstone, I think that's what it's called.
for what?
Shellstone. Well, where his ships is getting taken down at.
It was the summer. I think the Stepstones. It's the Stepstones. If I
Stepstone.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Your boy got close. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
you
Hey,
get, you
you
get.
know what I'm
I
saying?
had to think about it. I was like,
Try.
no, no.
You know what I'm
It's.
saying?
I was thinking of the islands and shit. I was like, no, what's the Stepstone? Yeah, Stepstone.
Bro, the cinematography shot, bro, going in, starting from the guy getting tortured with the crabs actually already inside of his body, and we're thinking that he's dead, but he wakes up screaming in
Right.
agony, and we know from like where the crabs are from the bottom, from the holes at the bottom of his feet to the top of his feet, his legs, and a big gaping hole in his torso, and he's still alive getting tortured, and we just see them just nailing more people
Mm-hmm.
up, bro.
The
And he was
crab
telling them
feeder.
like that they're not even messing with no other seamen. They're only messing with Westeros seamen.
Mm-hmm.
You need to like address this
He
because
said,
it's literally only us they're fucking with.
think about what Corliss said. He said, yo, and the last ship was flying my banner. So they knew exactly who they was attacking. It's pretty much what he was telling them. He's like, yeah, don't give a fuck. It's cool, man. Like, but if it was rocking a Targaryen ship, he would have been cool with it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's straight. Nah,
So
he
now his
went.
brother about to go over there, probably escalate the situation, and he's gonna get the news that something happened to his brother, which is gonna make him actually go to war.
It's gonna be some
Because
interesting shit. Let's just say that.
like what you get another thing, you get Rhaenyra. She chooses her the knight that protects the king.
Mm-hmm.
And
She was choosing one of the the empty spots for the King's Guard. So that the empty spot for the 7 King's Guard. Remember?
yeah,
Hmm.
and so all of the people in this day and age, because of two generations of peace,
Hmm.
they know they're inexperienced with war, which is, I s- I would say, Rhaenyra. I thought she made a smart decision initially until we get the scene with how he responds to Damon with like, did I knock you off your horse? But Damon is still royalty, so you have to kind of like get. Now you have this arrogant asshole in this position in the King's Guard.
Nah. Did you not catch what Damon said to him? Like he's like, cause Damon knew who he was. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, I don't remember you. You like, he was dismissing him
Yeah,
like, yeah, you ain't shit. I don't really care to remember you. He was like, oh yeah, I'm the nigga that put you on your back. It's pretty much what he was saying. I'm not mad at Christian Cole for doing that. Yeah,
no, I'm
definitely
not
said that for
saying
yourself.
I'm not mad, but you also have to see where he is in
No,
the
this
King's
look at the
hierarchy.
situation. But Damon's a goofy motherfucker. If he would have took that slight look, if you would have took that to escalate the situation, like I get what you're saying. Like, hey nigga, you're a Kingsguard member. That's a prince. Let
Yeah,
him say
like
some bullshit. Hey, but Eric, like, look, they was both soldiers, like, or I guess tourney knights, and like you said, he was a soldier. So it
mhm.
was like one of those things where, hey, you can try to disrespect me because you're a prince, but that don't mean I'm a bitch. You feel me?
Yeah,
And I'm with Chris Cole for. I'm not saying I like his character like that, but in that situation, I mean, like, I understand. You can talk your shit, but don't be mad if I talk my shit back. Like, nigga, I beat you.
yeah.
Like, that,
But I just feel like he's gonna make a wrong decision, just one wrong decision, and it's gonna fuck everything up.
I can only say so much. So I'm just like, hey, do you? Who knows? I don't know. We'll see.
Didn't he get Rhaenyra's favor?
He had got he had got Rhaenyra's favor because Damon had Allison's. Yeah, so yeah.
So if Rhaenyra gets an heir,
You get what?
if Rhaenyra gets an heir, if he hit that, then hey,
All right, just remember, Corliss's got 2 kids. So I mean, we just see where let's go with that too, and where they was talking
yeah,
about his daughter. So
because then we get like in the episode premiere. Then we get the like them saying that Rhaenyra has to actually marry someone now.
yeah, she will have to marry here soon. Yes.
So it's either gonna be Damon or it's gonna be Corlys' son. Because that's kind of what I got from her reaction. Like, what the fuck? I'm not doing that, nigga. Like, we all gotta. Oh my gosh. You think I
Look,
want to do that shit?
I'm just gonna say, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah, it's one of those, something like that. Who knows? It could be, maybe. But yeah, I enjoyed episode 1 and 2. Yes, 2 was the better of them. Uh,
Oh, yeah, two was
to
fire.
to round it up, because I think we pretty much talked about it. I like that we still. I do want to get to see the crab feeder and see what his story is, more about it, like what they finna do with him and shit. They pretty much hyping him up. You know what's crazy? They hyping up the crab feeder better than they hyped up the White Walkers, and that's sad.
Or
Like
the
that's
giant, the undead knight.
right. Like
That nigga
that's
was trash.
that's crazy. Like this motherfucker, you like damn, he's fucking people up. Nobody give a fuck. His character design is dope.
Bro.
You curious on like what the fuck you heard about him all the way in episode? You know what I mean? In
That
episode
man is
one
a Dark
already.
Souls character, bro.
Like remember, you hear about him in the first 15 minutes of episode 1, so you know he's gonna play a big part.
Yeah, didn't they show
That's
like
it.
a scene of him in episode 1?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
like a 10, 20-second scene, some shit like that.
I'm pretty sure they did. They show like they take us over there to show him a little bit. Maybe I'm thinking of episode 2. Cause no, they
Episode
showed
one.
us. They showed us twice. They showed them twice in episode 2 and once in episode 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, like I said, episode 2 was great. I ain't gonna give it an overall rate. We just gonna say that the rating was go watch it. You feel me?
Yeah.
I want more of the episodes. I can't wait to see more of it. Next week, I know we was a little bit behind on this episode of the podcast, but we was gonna do it. I fell asleep last night and I had to work this morning, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's
No,
see
you
what
good,
else
bro.
gonna be on." But I appreciate bro sliding through and definitely leading the conversation. I know you was. I know you want to talk about this much, just as much as I did, because this shit. Because I was letting you pretty much go, and I was just adding some input in it when I can. Because it was like that. It's good to be back. It's good to do another episode of the Black Console Podcast, as always. You feel me? Hopefully next time we can have another person in here. Hopefully next time we can get Townsend in this bitch. That'd be dope. But hey,
I'm gonna hit up broski.
yeah, you got any final statements or anything you want to talk about? Like I said, I was letting you lead this one. I just had a little bit here and there, like a little bit of input here and there, but
Overall,
in
watch the episode. House of Dragons so far. Why is this? I just had Discord notifications. It's House of Dragons so far. Politics is more. It's more clear than it was in Game of Thrones. You would probably get a lot more out of the politics in the first watch through of House of Dragons, and then you would pick up more on the body language and how it will lead up into following episodes in the second watch through of it. I probably watched the episode 2 I watched twice. Episode 1 I watched 3 times.
Same.
So that's I just wanted to make sure I felt the same way about episode 1, like, because it wasn't really moving me. However, it did set up the world that at the time it was. I'm really big into like science and technology and shit, and you actually see that they don't have all of the same technology that they had in Game of Thrones. Some shit seemed a little bit more old, like with the stonemasons and things of that nature. And I kind of really appreciated that they paid attention to even the smallest of details in the series. You feel me? So it was fire, for it's a must watch. No cap.
Hell yeah, shit. He pretty much said what it need to be said. Like I said, I love the actors right now, the actresses. Everybody's playing their part fucking well. The Corlys, it's not just because he's black. This motherfucking actor is killing Corlys right now. Like the little bit of screen time, he makes an impact every time he's on the screen. His wife, the one who plays I want to say is it Rhaenyra? No, Rhaenyra's the other one.
Queen who never was.
Yep. I'm just gonna say that right now because I'm having a brain fart. So the one plays the queen who never was. Man, she reminds me of Olenna Tyrell, but a Targaryen, and that's fucking even scary when you really think about it. Cause Olenna Tyrell was smart as fuck, and that's the wisdom I kind of get from her as well. She says like she'll have her little quotes. She'll say something very impactful, and then y'all see her, and you just gotta link her on it. Like damn, maybe she was right. Every look, everything she say, every time she talk, and then you see how she was talking to the king in this last episode. She laid it down flat and was just real with him. She was real with everybody she talked to this episode, and I fucking love that. I fucking love like every time she's on the screen, she's been killing it.
But even if she's real with her, I like the way that she also manipulates them.
True. See, and that's the thing. I think they portraying like Corliss is the one that's making all these decisions, but he's not the one that's making all these decisions. He's not. You gotta sit back and look at the subtext. Like she know what she's doing. She's playing the game just like everybody else. You might think that he's leading the road, but hey, there's more to that shit.
Because she put more doubt in Rhaenyra claim to the throne than Corliss did with convincing the king, because the king wasn't really worried about it. It was just more of just the people. He wanted to please the people, so he wasn't really worried about what he was saying. It was just more like the logical facts of the matter. But that could have been anybody in that position for the king.
True.
So it was like the wife had more of it, not necessarily an impact on screen, but an impact with the character. While Corliss just brought something to the king's attention. But that's all I got for this one, bro.
Hell yeah. That shit, I appreciate it, bro. Shit,
No worries, appreciate you having me.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. As always, if y'all like this and y'all want to see more, make sure y'all go check out Nars' page. Go check out my page. Go check out Nora at Woke Nars. Go check out his Twitter. Go check out his Twitch. Go check out all those platforms. It should all be the same. Shit. Same for mine. Go check out my shit. Tongues of Prophecy or Prophecy. You'll probably find it somewhere. Check it out if you're new to the page over here on